This isn't some Hollywood movie.
What is that?
There wasn't any scripting or planning. I feel like the shots in this film are all 100% real. This is the story of how me and my buddy Mason attempted to summit our first mountain.
Why are we doing this?
Mount Adams.
What the heck?
It started off like any other road trip. Late.
Alright, we're about an hour and a half behind schedule.
You wanted that exit. We totally missed where we're going. By the way, that's where I get my carpool out there. At church.
really?
Yeah.
But even though we were late, we were hungry. So we made a not so quick stop for pizza, said hi to Gianni. We found him.
Are we going
Can I
with
get
the
a pineapple pizza?
I don't know if I want to give it to you.
Pizza.
Hey!
And started our long drive.
You know, this is gonna be a tough hike. We don't really know what we're doing. We're going to Mount Adams. So I want to talk about how we decided to do this. So we were driving back from Seattle, and I don't know if it was you or me who said it. We were driving back and we were like going by the mountains, and someone came up with the idea. We're like, you know, we should hike those mountains one day. We should climb a mountain one day. And then I went on another trip. That vlog hopefully is up by now. And I think, what was it, like a couple days after I got back, you said something like, hey, you wanna go climb Mount Adams this weekend?
Pretty randomly.
Yeah?
And no big deal.
And now we're doing it. What time is it now? It is 8 o'clock. Just finished our pizza. We're about 2.5 hours behind schedule, which means we should get to the campground at 11:30 at night. And we don't have a spot. There's a 50% chance we'll be sleeping in this car. That's not even a joke. See, that's one of the fun things I've seen. Like, family road trips never end up this great or this bad. They're just too planned out, you know? I mean, it's not an adventure until something goes wrong. So, as you can see, it's just about pitch black, and we're still 2 hours away. Quick little bathroom break. Come on, Columbia. Oh my, it's going.
Coffee!
And then we got kind of lost.
Where the heck are we? It's like almost 11 at night. We're in the middle of like nowhere.
Yeah, this is pretty sketchy, not gonna lie.
This is sketchy. Alright, so we're driving a little slower. We saw our first deer on the side of the road, which was a little intimidating, so we're going slow now. I'm keeping my eyes focused. We also caught our first glimpse of the mountain, and that thing is massive. Like, it's actually intimidating and crazy to think we're gonna be on the top of that in 2 days. Pretty crazy.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's like 11:30. Maybe we go in there.
What is that?
Do you think this is it?
Yep.
I don't even know if this is a road, dude.
What was that noise?
We can't turn around on this. We literally have to back up the whole way. Wait, okay, what's the... Does it say we're going on the right thing? Has it adjusted yet?
It doesn't just keep going.
Okay. This is locked, right?
I don't know.
We're 3.5 hours behind schedule.
This is probably the sketchiest thing.
Mason just dropped my phone.
Alright, so it's like 12:51 and we just arrived. Kind of we're in a spot, but yeah, we gotta get some sleep because we got a big day tomorrow.
A little tired.
Slightly tired. The coffee was a good call.
After a terrible night's sleep, we woke up to the sound of chirping birds and a deer trotting around right outside the car. And yeah, I wasn't kidding. It was probably the worst sleep I've ever got in my life. I couldn't even speak English when I woke up.
Rise and shine. Some of the worst sleep I've gotten in a long time. Not even kidding. As you can see, I got a little cold. Someone was playing the sock puppets last night. But you know what time it is. It's time for some coffee.
Good morning.
Oh, you look so tired.
I am tired.
I know. You want to help me make some coffee?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Got a little concoction here. We've got apples and cinnamon meets dinosaur eggs and brown sugar.
getting my third use out of this coffee cup. And then you add the dino eggs. Once this hot water is done, we're gonna have quite the breakfast. Alright, so my oatmeal has the consistency of a good runny nose.
Apparently my cooking skills were somehow better than my jokes, because not long after preparing breakfast, we found a customer snooping around in our pantry.
Right here, by my lunchbox.
Get him out!
Here.
No, get out, buddy, get out. No, he's under the seat. What the heck? Oh my gosh, I don't want this guy freaking getting rabies in the car. Get him. Where is he?
Right here.
Get him. Come on. Hit him with something.
It's because we want him.
No, get him out. Get him out.
Open all the doors.
What the heck? Buddy, get out. Get out, get out.
So he's trying to stay.
Okay, we gotta scare him over there. Oh, okay, he's on the seat.
I know.
Did he just jump out? Or is he underneath?
Nope. Get out. Come on, bud.
Oh, he's out. Shut the door. Oh my gosh, dude, that's actually like scary. He was literally in my underwear.
I know, he was just all over my bag of stuff, my food.
Shortly after scaring off our furry friend, we dropped a few pounds in the nearest porta potty, packed our bags, and began our ascent up the mountain.
This is not fun.
Oh,
There we go.
we're screwed. Alright, let's see you get over this. It's
Yep.
so overexposed right now. You go over.
Yeah.
Oh, I was barely tall enough.
There was a pathway there.
Oh, so we're right here, and we're trying to get all the way up there. This is gonna be a long climb. All right, time of departure is 9:30 a.m.
Already dead?
Destination, we are already dead, and we need to get way the heck up there. We got a long way to go.
The only thing left to do at this point was to wipe the sweat from our already disgusting brows and continue trekking up the mountain.
So I don't know how far we are, but this thing is rocky, and it is steep, and it's rocky. Should have prepared a little more for this.
Feeling a little tired, boys.
Alright, so do you think we packed too light or too heavy?
Too much.
Too much?
But
I mean, I guess we won't know until we're at the top. We got enough stuff. I can't even hold the camera up, my arms are tired. Whew. As you can see, we've been going for about a half hour. So far, so good, not too bad. But it is hot, and we are sweaty. But not terrible. The legs are holding up pretty good, I think, for both of us. But I think the issue is the back, and just the actual heat is draining. Definitely. All right, taking our first break. Woo, woo. Feels good to take that load off. All right, let's keep going. Oh, we're getting some altitude.
So, after about an hour of climbing, we were definitely sweating, like, don't get me wrong. But I'd also like to mention that we were honestly starting to worry that the climb was going to be too easy. I just want you to keep that in mind.
My calves aren't even like tensed up yet, so.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm exhausted for sure, but I'm like nowhere near stopping. Let's keep going. And right up there, we're already at our first patch of snow. Not gonna lie, it's really tempting to go lay in that for a sec.
Yeah.
But we just gotta keep going.
A few miles more and we're still far from struggling, and I think our egos inflated even more as we arrived at our first landmark.
Alright, so we found this little stream waterfall thing coming down. And we're definitely gonna take our second photo break here. I think we'll get some sick pictures with the ND filter.
And of course, while we were taking pictures, there was no way I was gonna pass up a chance to cool off. Now we actually ended up staying by the water for quite a long time, and while yes, it was freezing cold, it felt absolutely incredible after chipping away at the mountain for a couple hours.
Oh, that's ice cold! Now that we've stopped, we're real hesitant to get going again. We've been here for probably close to 2 hours. Gonna eat some of these and then we'll get going.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Where are we even? I don't even know where the trail is. Alright, so took a really long break. Took a lot of sweet photos, hopefully got some good video. And now we're resuming the hike at a snail's pace as I try and get blood flowing through my body again. Hey, holding up back there.
Oh, I'm doing good. Actually not feeling too bad.
Some son of a gun told us to go the right way. Go the right way, he said. It'll be fun, he said. Turns out we're going up this like random pro route. We're here. We need to be over there. Between us is like a river and snow. When I see you on top of the mountain, when I see you on top of the mountain, I'm gonna be angry. Hey buddy, how's it feel to be going down what we just came up, only to go up just as much on the other side?
I am bleeping pissed off.
I'm a little pissed off too.
So throughout the hike, one of my favorite things to do was seek advice from the other hikers, because Mason and I really didn't have a clue as to what we were doing. One of the funniest things about talking to the other hikers is that they all told us completely different things. One guy would tell us to go left, the other one would tell us to go right. This guy told us we'd be at the camping area in 2 hours.
Also, we're staying the night at lunch. Oh, so. You guys are good then. Okay, is it like...
Let's just say it took us a little bit longer than that.
Supposedly, I mean, this is from someone who's hopefully more reliable than the first guy, which isn't saying much. We could be at lunch counter in 2 hours or so. So maybe like 3 o'clock. Should be pretty sweet.
We kept up a pretty good pace through the rocky terrain, but as time passed, we both grew pretty tired, and maybe even a little cranky. One of us possibly a little more so than the other.
Would you get off your butt, Josh, and we can actually go? This is not that easy. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like an old man.
Come on, Mason.
I'm trying. I'm coming along.
Come on.
Why?
Oh. You want to relay what we just figured out? What?
Everybody has one to.
According to our sources, right down there, we should be like 2.5 hours from where we're going to set up camp for the night, which is lunch counter, I believe. Either that or someone's playing a funny prank on me. But I think that's what it's called. Alright, what's the most sore part on you right now?
My lungs.
Lungs?
Yeah.
I think it's my feet. Everything else is actually pretty good. But these boots are not even mine. What in the world is this. A burst of speed. And we're going up. I'm going up. Try to stop me. Oh, you can see the summit from here again. Let's get up there so we can put our crampons or whatever. That just makes sense, does it not?
Makes sense. Sure doesn't sound fun. Alright, let's go.
Soon enough, we reached the snowy part of the mountain and took a substantial break to rest for a bit, attach crampons to our boots, and prepare for our final push of the day.
We have no idea how to put these on.
Putting on crampons now and getting ready. I think we're probably still like 2 hours from where we're gonna set up camp. What time do you think it is?
3?
1:48. Huh. The days are long in mountain time. You look kind of cool with the beanie and glasses.
Does it?
I mean, it's kind of weird, but kind of cool. We'll see how this snow goes, huh? Oh, dude. I've never done this before, but I feel incredible right now.
How you holding up?
You know, we're going. Snail's pace, though. All right, so it's currently 2:22. We are right there, and we need to be up there. We're just gonna keep on trekking. Ooh.
Pretty cool.
All right, so it's starting to rain. Put the DSLR away, just going with the phone for now. And the journey continues.
We began to notice a couple of things once we'd arrived at the snow. The first thing we noticed was that there wasn't really anyone younger than us this high up. We saw some kids during the day hike portion, but as we got closer to the summit, it seemed as though we were the youngest ones up here. On top of that, everyone else seemed to be way better equipped than us. They seemed to have either ski poles, an ice axe, or both, while we had exactly one ice axe to share between us. The only exception to this rule was this guy in sandals. He said he'd lost a shoe or something the previous day, but he seemed pretty experienced. We weren't too worried about him.
So all I've had today was 2 packages of oatmeal and like half a little bag of Swedish fish, so I need to eat something. This video is sponsored by Cliff. No, just kidding. Ready for the final push?
I think it's the final push.
It better be. You will be disappointed. That was not the final push. We should be within 500 feet of where we're gonna set up camp. It's starting to rain. I don't know if you can hear that. It's getting windy. It's getting cold real fast. I'm getting pissed on right now. So we're gonna try to make a quick push, set up camp, and make some lunch/dinner, and just rest for the night and try and summit in the morning. All right, so really close to lunch counter. A little bit ahead of Mason back there, but he stopped to bundle up and I just kind of kept going. At this point I'm in shorts and long sleeve shirt. It's too late for me to stop. I just want to get there. So I went a little bit ahead. Maybe I'll start setting up camp for him. But, whoo! We're almost there. We're almost there. Not the summit, but, you know. I think this is it. I think this is the final push.
And for once, I was actually right about how far we had to go.
Give me some. What are we calling this camp? Camp Hope? I was thinking like Camp Footache. Camp Can't Feel My Legs. Alright, so we're just starting to set up our camp at 4 o'clock and we noticed it's hailing, so we need to get this tent up pronto. Tent is set up just in time for the hail. Alright, so camp is set up. We're almost out of water, so we're gonna have to get snow to make dinner. We're gonna have to melt it. I mean, I guess that's as clean as it's gonna get. Oh, let me not do that right by the tent. That looks so funny the way it peeked out. Do you have anything you can fetch more snow in? Because the amount I fetched, you know, snow's like fluffy. It's only gonna be like half as much as I need. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, all those black things are little bugs. That snow is not clean. That's kind of gross. Take a look in the bug water.
Oh.
Like, it's not like 1 or 2, it's like 20.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't drink that.
Well, you wanna know the worst part? Now I need to use something to rinse this, or at least wipe it. Nope, not doing it. Not eating bug water. But what I did bring is a thermos of ice, which you can melt down. Currently, I've got that bottle of water and 1 bottle of vitamin water.
And I have a bottle of Powerade.
You've got your Powerade. That's all we have to Summit in return, and we're using it for food. Is it a good idea? I don't know, but we need to eat. Would you eat that?
No. I wouldn't eat it.
Oh, it's actually not liquidy. It's like straight teriyaki. We'll see how yours turns out. That tastes really good after a full day of hiking. Bon appetit. Alright, so we've settled down. We got some food in our stomachs, and my feet are just so hot. I just want to cool off a little, and they ache, and that is the coldest thing. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. Oh, let me get the other foot. Oh, that is so cold. Oh. If we look down here, we see all the liquid I have left. 1 Powerade Zero, 20 ounces. There it goes. 1 water, about half full, about 12 ounces. It's about 32 ounces to summit tomorrow and get all the way down. So, I was just going for a walk to look around, and some guy pointed me in this direction, and thank God, because I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna zoom in, it's gonna look terrible, but there's running water down there, so I'm gonna go fill up. Mason, you're gonna have to go on a hike with me.
What?
You're gonna have to go on a hike.
We have to go on a hike?
Oh, hold up, switch you zoomed in. Try that again. Mason, we're gonna have to go on a hike.
What?
I found water.
Where?
Up there.
What the hell?
Running fresh water. I need your straw. Yeah. I need to fill stuff. Kind of cool, huh? Some guy told me about it.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
It's not bad.
It's like a 5-minute walk. It's way easier without a bag, believe me.
It really was a blessing to find running water. We still had a filter, so in theory we could have heated snow into bug water in my tiny pot, and then filtered the bug water with our filter straw, and then stored it in containers. However, this would have been fairly time-consuming, plus it would have used up an extremely large amount of butane fuel, which we really only brought enough of to cook our meals. So while yes, it still took quite a bit of time, cutting out the whole bug water ordeal just made our lives a lot easier.
So, sun is setting, as you can see. Mason's asleep, but as exhausted as I am, I just gotta take pictures, you know?
I ended up taking some sunset pictures, and even tried a little astrophotography with the mountain in the background before heading off to bed. I honestly wasn't terribly excited about how the pictures came out, but there were a couple decent shots, so overall it was a good night. Up until this point, we'd had our fair share of mishaps, but nothing we couldn't handle. That all changed the morning of the summit. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but my phone died that night, and thus my alarm never went off, so we overslept and skipped it. This was a flat-out stupid mistake, considering I'd already undereaten the day before. But, like I've said numerous times, we didn't have a clue what we were doing.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Alright, so we made a tactical call to go without bags. It's about 6 in the morning, and we figured if we can get up there and get down, we should be okay without them, and it'll just make everything a lot easier. On me, I've got 20 ounces of water and a Cliff Bar and my camera. So we'll see how this goes. How you holding up?
Already getting tired.
Our only gear is an ice axe and these crampons.
Yep.
We definitely should have brought the poles. Almost to the base of this here peak. Almost to the bottom of that push. Oh. What do you think?
I'm already tired.
I'm losing some layers, ditching the mittens, because if we're gonna make it to the top, we're gonna need to stay cool. And we're off again. Hi. You make it look so easy, buddy.
It wasn't long before we started to grow tired. If you've never climbed a mountain before, think of walking up a sledding hill or walking across a sandy beach. Then, imagine doing that for hours and, well, there you go. I eventually got into a rhythm where I would just force myself to take 20 steps, rest for a few moments, and then take another 20 steps. It was slow going, but there's not really any other way to do it.
Oh, that feels good.
One thing this mountain is famous for is what's called its false peak. When you're climbing, it looks like you're almost at the top before you realize that it just flattens out for a second before you have a much farther distance to go. We knew about this going into the hike, but even so, seeing it for oneself is pretty disheartening.
What the heck? What kind of cool trick is this?
I didn't let it get to me though. We'd already come so far, and knowing that the end was near filled me with determination.
Alright, so pretty close to the summit. Definitely getting lightheaded, but look at that. We're close. We're so close. Mason's right down there, making steady but sure progress. Oh my gosh. I just found that hole and I completely lost my crampon. I could use the brake, but waiting for Mason to make the final push. Honestly, my ears are starting to hurt. Oh, I'm tired. My ears hurt.
Why are we doing
A little tired?
this? So last time I looked, it was a mile until the actual summit.
So what's your elevation?
You gotta wait like 2 minutes. 11,142.
What do we have to get to?
12,200.
So that up there is the false peak. So before I was pretty positive this is the summit. But Mason says it's a false summit according to someone behind us, which I thought we already hit, so.
Finding out we had another 1,000 feet to go was pretty annoying. I don't think either of us had a clue it would take us this long to summit. We were tired, hungry, and most of all, thirsty. My single bottle of water and Cliff Bar were long gone, and we were both exhausted.
So I guess we're about to find out if there's another summit or not.
This was without a doubt the worst view of the entire climb. We just wanted to be at the top.
Elevation?
11,516. Elevation up there, 12,200.
Hey.
It's nice camera you got there.
Thank you. Hey Mason, you hear that?
What?
Do you not hear it?
No.
Get up here.
Once again, we'd somehow found ourselves fortunate enough to find water where we least expected it. We didn't have a filter, but I honestly couldn't have cared less. I was so incredibly thirsty, all I wanted to do was lie down and drink. I kid you not when I say that that drink is exactly what we needed to buckle down and finish what we'd started. July 29th, 2018, we summited Mount Adams. Standing on top of that peak, or more accurately, laying there, I was engulfed by an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment. Staring off into the distance, I felt like I could do anything. I had every intention of ending the video here, but it wasn't until after summiting the mountain that things really took a turn for the worst. Within minutes of starting our descent, I knew something was wrong. My head felt light, breathing only made it worse. It was as if all my energy had been sucked away in an instant. I was already physically exhausted, and now I was bombarded with numerous flu-like symptoms, faster than I'd ever experienced before. I've always thought of myself as sort of a badass when it comes to anything physically demanding. I've never been a quitter, never been a complainer, so it really hurt my pride when I told Mason that I needed to lie down.
Come on, Mason.
I'm not the superstitious type, but it sure felt like karma for making Mason hustle on the way up. On top of the physical fatigue, I had headaches, nausea. I felt like I had altitude sickness. It was one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I felt helpless, 12,000 feet up, with no way down but hours of climbing, and here I was, sicker than I've been in years. The thought to film what was going on never crossed my mind. I had too much to worry about. But Mason said I just laid on the rocks for almost 30 minutes, and then, without warning, I just vomited again and again, probably 6 times, all over the rocks.
I just threw up all over this rock. I feel like
But thankfully, things got better after that.
Pro tip from Josh: if you ever climb in a mountain and you feel like you have altitude sickness, lie down, throw up, and you will feel like 100% in like 5 minutes. It's the most ridiculous thing. Hey Mason.
Yeah.
When we get down, let's go get a pizza.
Yes, absolutely.
There's this technique called glissading, which can be used to get down a mountain by utilizing an ice axe and something slippery like a garbage bag. I didn't have either of those things, but like everything else on this trip, we just decided to wing it. We'd seen someone else do it, so we just made do with what we had.
Best idea ever.
We probably got to do this for almost 2,000 feet, and it was without a doubt the best part of the climb. And of course, on the way back, we went and got ourselves a hot pizza. It's a good looking pizza. This is the story of how me and Mason summited Mount Adams.